Guys, well, we've been talking about new players within the league all media day long, but we now get to be joined with our new head coach in the league with Marquette, Cara Consuegra. Cara, how are you soaking in your first Big East Women's Basketball Media Day?
We're having a blast.
Yeah.
Just really excited to be here and just all the excitement around women's basketball.
Coach, it's great to meet you. We're excited to have you here. I just want to hear how things are going in the last couple of weeks. I know you're kind of starting from scratch a little bit. Skylar Forbes, a player that we love watching, she's kind of the top returner. How have things been coming together from your perspective as you head into this first game of the season?
It's really been a whirlwind from being hired in the middle of April and trying to put together a roster. We only had 6 players on the roster, only about 2 weeks left in the transfer portal. All the freshmen had decommitted. So going from that to summer workouts to preseason and now obviously preparing for games, it's really been a whirlwind. But to be honest, it's been a lot of fun. It's been great to be back at Marquette. A place that is just so invested in women's basketball. They want us to be great. They do whatever they can to help our student athletes achieve their dreams. And so, to be a part of be back here and to be a part of that and feel that excitement around the program, it's just been a ton of fun.
Well, you are back in Marquette after 13 years, but real quick, any food? What's the place that you were most excited to get back into Milwaukee to experience?
That's a great question. Honestly, cheese curds.
Ooh,
it doesn't matter where they're
some
from.
Recently.
I mean,
yes.
What did you think?
I'd had them before, but I was in Milwaukee for a couple hours. I went to a Packers game a couple weeks ago, and
nice.
my brothers and dad had never been. I said, I don't know if I could say this on air. I said, you need a spotted cow and cheese
Yes.
curds.
You're right.
Pass the test.
You're right. I mean, you can't go wrong. It doesn't matter what restaurant. Cheese curds.
Well, after 13 years at Charlotte, you are now back at Marquette. And so I'm curious as to now as a head coach in this position, what is a Cara Consuegra Marquette-led team going to look like?
I think that who I am as a person really takes on the Marquette values, which we are really blue collar, and that's Marquette, that's the city of Milwaukee, and our kids are going to be gritty. They're going to play really hard. They're going to give all they can on the court to make the people of Milwaukee proud of the product on the floor. That's kind of who I am. I've always been kind of that underachiever my whole life that's just worked really hard and overcame talent. And as a player, I made it to the WNBA, and that should have probably never happened, to be quite honest. But that's just the core of who I am. I'm a worker. I want to be great. I want our girls to be great, and I'm just, working every day to instill those values in them.
And Coach, before we let you go, just because there are so many new players on the roster, we want to get more familiar with the team. Can you give us maybe 1 or 2 names of people that have stood out to you that we can expect to be playing big minutes, be doing big things for your team this season?
We already mentioned Skylar Forbes. Just a blessing as a head coach to walk in and having her on my roster. As good of a player as she is, even better person, I think she has the chance to be the next pro to come out of Marquette. I think she has the opportunity to be that good. I don't even think she realizes that she can be that good. So a lot of it is us just pushing her to a next level. Honestly, our sophomore class has been really impressive. Hallie Weiss was on the roster last year, didn't play a whole lot, but she's like a 6'1" guard forward who's really come on late. Jada, who we transferred in from Georgia Tech, her brother played at Seton Hall, so people are familiar with
the Bediako.
Bediako,
okay, yeah.
Yep, people are familiar
player.
with the Bediakos, so she's a sophomore for us as well. So those 3, I mean, they're really going to be a great core to our program for years to come.
I'd love to hear a little bit because we're going to hear from Lee Volker in just a second with Ice. What does she bring into your team this season?
I call Lee our Swiss Army knife.
Ooh.
She is a kid that can do anything that we need her to do at a really high level. Score, handle the ball, defend. She can play the 3 and the 4. And she has been a great leader. From the moment I've stepped on campus, she stepped up early, said, hey, let me help with visits, let me take kids on tours. Just an awesome kid, great person, really lucky to have her leading our team in my first year.
Coach, we are lucky to have you a part of the conference. Thanks so much for stopping by. Now it's time to hear from the Swiss Army knife herself with Ice. Hey, Ice.
Hey, thanks so much, Meg. I am here with Lee Volker. I'm not sure if you heard Coach Consuegra say it, but she called you the Swiss Army knife of the team. Now I have to ask you, what do you have to say about her in terms of what she's brought to this team and the new culture that she's trying to establish?
Yeah, that's a really high compliment, so I appreciate that. But Yeah, she's really brought in some great morals for our team and is very strong in her beliefs. And I think for us, she's really just trying to establish how we're going to compete and how we're going to work together doing it. So it's been really great preseason, getting to know her and getting to know what she wants and needs from us.
Yeah, there's a lot of new this season, right? New head coach, some new teammates, but you're a returner that has stayed. What are you looking forward to most this season with all the changes that you had to battle through?
Yeah, definitely is a lot of change. New coach, 6 returners, 6 new people on board. So I'm just really looking forward to being able to compete with everyone. And I know a lot of teams say that they're close, but we really are the best of friends. So it's been really great just pushing each other, getting better every day. And I'm excited to see how that, shows in the season.
Coach spoke so highly of you as a leader. As a leader, who's someone on your team that you've seen some growth in over the preseason?
Yeah, I think it's been really interesting to watch Skylar transition from her freshman to sophomore year. I think that's a huge step for all players, but just to see her kind of blossom in her confidence and just expanding her game has been really fun. So I'm excited to see what she does out there this year.
Oh, you talk so great about your teammate. Thanks so much for joining me, Lee. Best of luck this season. All right, we'll